G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an F2000. This is a rifle of Belgium design, first produced and designed around the year 2000, which is where you get the 2000 in the weapons designation from. There you go. Obviousness aside, this is a very distinctive looking weapon. You could argue it's very space age and very sci-fi with its angular furniture, and I think it's a pretty good looking thing, if I do say so myself. Very good job on the models with this one, but it's also helped by the fact that this thing is indeed bullpup, which means all the magazine and all the action happens behind the trigger, allows for a good barrel length without making the overall rifle length massive. There's advantages in that, I won't get into them, but one of the more interesting design features of this is how it ejects the shells, the casings, when you're firing and you're through combat. So if you look just over the magazine, there's no obvious ejection ports there. The ejector port is actually on the front here, and there's a tube that runs all of the spent casings from here all the way down to the front for them just to fall out of the gun as you're firing. So as you are firing, you can swap shoulders with this thing and you can guarantee that you won't get sprayed in the face by hot casing. So a little bit of ambidextrous in this thing, and that's further reinforced by the fire selector here just being sitting under that trigger there. You can have control of this thing and its firing and everything on both sides. I'm not really sure about this charging handle though. I don't think you could get that swapped over to a different side, but that's kind of an interesting thing they've done with this rifle. This thing also has custom animations as well. The sounds are that of the Vanilla Game Assault Rifle, and it's been balanced to be about on par with the Vanilla Game Assault Rifle. So it might be lacking in power compared to the other weapons that I've had previously this week, but we've got a grenade launcher attachment on this thing that can do all the heavy lifting. So we'll get into the attachments and we'll begin modifying this thing. Right now I've got an integrated standard barrel. You can upgrade that, give you extra range, reduce the weight a little bit. Very nice. Gun nut rank 3 required, so a small upgrade for a big perk. Legendary effect is there if you need it. Right now we've got a handguard. The Picatinny rails on this thing are completely worthless. You can't use them. No foregrips or lasers can be mounted there. But you can throw a grenade launcher on the bottom. Will increase the weight. Needs gun nut rank 4 to do that. It's also got this cool sight on the side here to help you zero in on your targets. And the grenade sitting in there ready to go already. Probably don't put a grenade in this thing when you're working on it on a workbench, but we'll just skip that safety check right there. Right now, the grenade launcher state is in the rifle. It's in rifle mode. You can change it to an underbarrel grenade launcher mode. You can do that on the fly, but if you don't want to do it on the fly, you can switch it immediately, turn the F2000 into a dedicated grenade launcher on the workbench. Not really sure you'd want to do that, but for the little extraneous thing we've got a Picatinny rail on the top of this thing, and it allows us to use a laser sight, which at the moment, the laser sight is currently shining its beam straight through the grenade launcher sight, so immersiveness has been tossed aside there. But that's an option. Makes the gun look cooler. It says that right there. Makes it slightly heavier as well. It's a pretty hefty laser sight, don't you think? And with the receivers, like the Vanilla Game Assault Rifle, you've got the same modification. So we'll go for a powerful auto receiver, gets us to 102. And for the magazine, the muzzle, you can have a selection of muzzle brakes or compensators, or you could have a suppressor, gives us that 128 damage that we get out of an assault rifle, powerful auto suppressed. So there we go. That's as much damage as we're going to get out of this thing before we add sneak criticals to the mix. Right now I've got a 30 round Stenag magazine. You can have mag pull ones with a window, or without a window. They'll give you extra reload speed, so we'll throw those in. Next up, we've got the sight. So right now it's the iron sight, so you can have a dedicated F2000 scope. Worth mentioning that if you attach this, you can't attach the laser sight module on the side, but you've also got ACOGs, EOTechs, Leopold, and Razors. We'll throw on the scope on this thing, and that'll do. I think I just coughed up a attachment point doing that. Hang on. Okay, I'm in the magazines now. If I take that scope off, what do I get? You can have a top rail. Okay, it's just a top rail thing that's just disappeared. If you do put that on, it'll actually get eaten by the sight. See, there it goes. See, it slides the attachment things up because I lose that attachment point. That's why I was confused, but there you go. There's one of our F2000s. We'll be getting into talking about how to get this, and we'll get started. So to switch to your grenade launcher on the fly, under utility on your chemistry workbench, you can find the F2000 grill switcher. also fitting that Ice Storm's poses and pose gun are here because it's made the weapon mod and the poses are made by the same guy. So good on you, Ice Storm. You keep making those high heels and occasionally guns. Also worth mentioning the F2000 is on this list as well. So scroll down, you'll find it. And the 40mm grenades that the F2000 utilizes in its underbarrel grenade launcher can be crafted under grenades on your chemistry workbench. And I'll just say this, I'd much prefer it if everything from this F2000 mod was in its own sub-menu, but there you go. You'll have to shop around a little bit for these ones, but that's fine. We'll just craft these and we'll be on our way. 2 aluminums and 2 fertilizers, 3 fertilizers actually, and 2 oils, you'll get your grenades, and we're going to craft a lot of these. Righto, let the games begin. We're outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza again. Here is our F2000 in first person. The bashing animations include poking with a suppressor, which is a good way to ruin your suppressor, but we'll roll with it. And the scope looks like this. It's a very constrictive scope, but as you can tell, when you fire this thing, the spread kind of gets on top of you really fast, kind of like the Battlefield version of this thing. That's where I first learned of this weapon in Battlefield 3. It was a good gun. I got like 2,200 kills with it or something from memory, but yeah, it's a interesting rifle. It's got a lot of recoil, and the sights on this thing is, well, they're fairly constricting. Like, I can't see that car despite maybe moving my cursor 5 to 10 degrees, so maybe in close quarters they're going to be hiding from me by hiding behind the scope. Interesting design, but we've also got the grenade launcher on this thing, which I'll show off just now. So this is in grenade launcher mode now. Just take a look, keep a watch on the ammo counter there, you'll be able to tell. But when you aim down sights with this thing, you'll actually be utilizing the little sight that it produces on the side. There's a little bit of luminescence with the grenade as well, so you get to see it fly through the air a little bit like a missile, I suppose, and kind of interesting. Anyways, I've made a couple of other F2000s. This one without the grenade launch, just a normal underbarrel. It's got an ACOG sight and a suppressor. This one here is full auto with a air attack on here, which I can barely see the reticle unless I'm staring at something that's very dark indeed. Like, even in these shadows, I can't bloody see it, but we'll just have to watch the traces or watch the bullet impacts to adjust our aim from there. And there's the reload animation. And this one here, just a semi-auto version with another grenade launcher for that added kick. Anyways, let's begin. Quick save just in case I crash, but we'll get started, and there's the sprinting animation. That's very Battlefield-esque right there, but we'll start off by doing a little bit of cheap shot sniping. Why not, eh? And I feel like there's been a lot of emphasis on sort of simulating the recoil of this weapon, because not a lot of guns and their animators have the balls to make the whole bloody screen kick like that, and whilst I can appreciate that sort of attention to detail that we'd get out of shooting this weapon in real life, this is a video game and we're operating cameras with arms, so this Mantis is gonna go down. There we go. Cheeky little bastard thought he could get in there, and I think we're having quite a bit of issues with the sights at the moment. The first suppressed couple of weapons that I've made, the sights are very constrictive indeed, but luckily for me, the recoil on this thing, it's basically all animation based. It seems that my crosshair is staying on the same and is relatively on target, so I can just spam on this thing's trigger to get it going, which I don't think is a terrible thing. And I think that was Little Miss Creation Club up there with their Gauss rifle. And before we begin, I guess we'll get a few cheap little kills with the suppressed version of this. Get a few stealth commando streaks there, but like I was predicting, the sights on this thing, you get a decent zoom in, yeah, but as soon as you start firing, like, that was not easy to track that target compared to something like this, for instance. But I think it is time for the grenade launcher, so we'll pop this out and we'll lob it through grenades. And it's not enough to kill them in one hit, so maybe, and okay, you can fire now. Oh no, they've made a fire delay on this thing, haven't they? Okay, I'm gonna spam the reload's done. Unacceptable. Nope, bad. Okay, I really don't like that. So, we're going to cheapen it with VATS. Have a grenade to the face. There we go. That's how you do it. That's how we do. We're just gonna grenade to the face and also in VATS. Hopefully, No. Unfortunately, those two are too far away to really make much use of that grenade radius, but that's a real shame. I could throw grenades faster. What's the point of an underbarrel grenade launcher if I can throw grenades faster? And that is a sniper knockdown. We've found some redemption here. Love to see it. Love my sniper knockdowns. Always get around them, especially when we can fire this fast. Now, I'm thinking that we might be able to use this thing in third person. There we go. No recoil animation for me to deal with, and the camera's not jittering around either, so it's all just sort of animation-based recoil, which I think is, like, if you're gonna make crazy recoil animations like that, make the felt recoil a little bit less, and it'll feel consistent, but it'll feel like it's got a kick either way. So they've taken a good approach there, I think. I can respect that as we murder the hell out of a bush there. All right, let's use something more automatic here. We'll get nice and close and spray them down. Logic of video games has told me that the hipfire accuracy from your bullpups is going to be superior. And okay, someone ate their Wheat Bix this morning. Just riddle me this. Okay, that is definitely powerful auto receiver. Great. All right. Well, that's going to make my job difficult because I can't even one mag these guys. With this kind of damage, and I'm getting my ass kicked by that gunner with that. Were you just firing an anti-material rifle that fast? Wow, that's amazing. I don't... How do I counter that? I don't know. Probably by using VATS myself. That's much better there against that guy. We'll light up Tactical here because why not? I think I got an Idiot Savant proc there, so I'll get a 5x multiplier on my kill XP for a little bit. If we can squeeze yet another level up out of this, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. There we go. That guy explodes. He was using some sort of Robocop pistol. I think we'll go back over to our grenade launchers at this point. Whoops. I was meant to hit the different button, hit G, and it brought up the quick select menu, which I was not anticipating. I don't ever use that ever. I've usually using the hotkeys. All right, this guy, you're getting a face full of 40mm grenades, and he's copped that quite well, it must be said. But ooh, the firing delay, that is a real. That's a real buzzkill right there, I think. But maybe we've got some raiders coming in. Some Rust Devils. It's about time you guys showed up. So a little bit of chaos in between them. Against the Rust Devils like this, no real issue. Oh, it's a Securitron. That's cool. Always quite like seeing the Securitrons in mods. Please fire. Thank you. If I'm standing there like an idiot waiting to fire the gun, it's not my fault. Okay, maybe we target the torso on robots because that's actually the weak point. There we go. And we're still up with the massive amount of XP. I think it just wore off as we killed that last gunner there. But we're almost ready for a little bout of Nerd Rage. And I think the way to go for the rest of this is to blatantly fire all my bullets into a bush to no effect. No, sniper knockdowns. That's the way we do this. Although, I am thinking we've only got the last couple left over there, if I can't see any other gunners. And it would be a perfect moment to utilize the grenade launcher. Well, firstly from up above. There we go. That's a nice little kill there. We might be getting the Nerd Rage benefits as well. Near enough is probably good enough. Not quite. We'll go for the torso this time. We're not looking for direct hits, just enough to get the job done. And now we can door breach properly. I agree. Having that grenade launcher with that fire delay, that's enough to get me really angry. Just fuming, bro. Okay, we're good. And with that cheap little level up, I think we got 2 out of this. There we go. F2000 is finished at Immersive Gunners Plaza. Looks like we're all smiles here, and Classic Holstered Weapons works. And worth mentioning whilst I'm here on this Classic Holstered Weapons, be sure to make sure that your Classic Holstered Weapons is updated, because if it's not updated, then the game will crash when you equip this, and that's a no-no. Alright, time to take on the Mighty Swan once again. First of all, gotta remove his Nightkin mate from the from the equation. You do that quite easily, getting those sneak criticals in at a critical moment. And now we can light this guy up, and good rate of fire on this thing, but we're going to enhance our aim a little bit with a little bit of VATS usage. There we go. Get ourselves on to a flying start here, and almost in danger. Lean around the corner here, unload this magazine, and then quickly go down here. There we go. Still nice and hidden. We could probably take out his kneecaps from here. Success. It's working. I don't think I've gone too many swan kills that have gotten me without being detected in broad daylight like this with an automatic rifle, but when I try it, good old hip fire with this thing. Would it be better if I had a laser sight? Probably. I've got an idea. I'm going to knock him down. Just got to get a couple of hits in. That looks good enough. Not quite. Alright, that's him knocked down. And we'll switch to our automatic rifle again as he's getting up. For the cheapest swan kill ever, the F2000 makes its case, and there it goes. Didn't even detect me once. The power of hiding around the corner and hosing it down with an automatic rifle with a 4.4 times multiplier. Good stuff. Righto, time to slay a bunch of bears. We'll show the Legion how it's done, and the way how it's done is I'm going to shoot at a big bear from back here and hope for the best. And if we get a critical, even better. We're just gonna fire like mortar shells, artillery fire over in his direction. Was that a hit? Don't know. This is going to be a hit. I've added a critical into the mix, and that last one, a little bit better on target, but looks like the time for the fair fight is over, so let's stop him in his tracks. There he goes. I'm going to flog Sniper here. I could do this all day, Mr. Bear. What are you going to do about it? Probably nothing, because you can't do anything. Let's just knock you down again, and pop a fresh grenade. Oh, these bears haven't had a good day. Excellent. There we go. Cheap little grenade there, and now we can run away from the big boy, who is currently running in this direction. Maybe a few little VATS hits with this thing. There we go. Get our AP back for a second. A quick reload whilst he's down and out, and we begin again, just like the Sierra Madre. Begin in loop. Grenade launcher time again. We'll shoot him in the face. A couple of criticals just to really drive the point in home. Very nice. A third time's a charm, and this is probably the best per shot damage we're going to get. And it's interesting that I get them so rapidly when I'm in VATS, you know? It's a bit of a shame, but okay, we're getting mauled here. Let me just go over here and hopefully get over this. There we go. Took a little bit out of us getting over it, but it'll be fine. I think at this point, the scope on this thing is a little bit too much. And whoops, let me just get out of there. Getting a little bit on top of us at this point. Okay. That's it, mate. I've had it. You can go here. And all I need to do now is get myself a little bit damaged to activate Nerd Rage, to activate the final trap card. Or I could just get him stuck in a corner and shoot him at him until he dies. The mutation definitely not helping my case there and finishing the job quick. But we could let him run away, I suppose. Does his pathing even allow him to follow me at this point? I don't think it does. No, it certainly doesn't. So we'll chase. Never mind, we're back on. And this way. Okay, so right now it's just going to be a slogging match for the rest of the fight. So we'll try to shake things up a little bit here and either get myself into a position where I can start pulling sneak criticals, but this is the damage that you're getting out of this thing. Again, it's just vanilla, it's nothing spectacular, but you might find it lacking against targets of this stature, but generally you won't be finding them in the vanilla game. Definitely you won't be finding targets like this in the vanilla game, so you'll be right for your end game purposes in there, but it's worth mentioning that you will get out damaged by a handmade rifle using this weapon, which you might find unappealing. There's also a random dog that's going into bat for me. Thanks. Much appreciated. We get a few of our health points back with a little bit of sitting over the rad barrels, and I think that's completely destroyed his pathing. Alright, that's enough. And we got mauled, but then we decided, nah, no damage, please. I think he died of a heart attack. I think we'll call it a draw, because I was dead to rights just then, but... Okay, then the trigger got stuck. Probably don't want that to happen. That might be a safety problem, but... Look, I think you get the idea. That there was an F2000, and it's a good weapon mod. I know it's on Xbox as well, so if you are interested in this particular gun, check out the link in the description. It's good. And look at that. The ejection port is working. It's actually throwing the casings forward. Normally they just sort of fall out of the barrel like that, but that's acceptable because I think Fallout 4 is coded to just have the casings get thrown out like that. But, yeah, we won. Maybe a few scars to show for it, but we can just remove them. Scars don't exist in the Fallout universe. You just get them completely removed through the face surgeons. You can try it, really. It works. So, that's it. Download it if you want. Thank you very much for watching, guys.